Are there questions? I can, oh, yes, of course, you have to be right in the back of the room. It's always, you pick that spot, you stay as far, no. Just.
Hi, Ziv from Camilio. So, in a sense, what I really like about what you're showing is that it's actually demonstrating how a commoditized product, i.e. website, is going to become even more commoditized. And do nothing almost means like worth nothing, but which is great, because then the YPs can sell. What is really important for the SMBs is, and that's things that would bring in traffic and generate leads and revenues.
Oh, and it will. By the way, when we say do nothing, it's something we should keep inside this room. Don't tell the customers. They don't have to know how easy it is. The point is here that you're sitting on a gold mine and you can deliver great products to the customers at no cost, or almost no cost. That's the whole point of this.
Yeah, I would just say that the whole point here is you're taking the customer on a journey. You need to meet them at the point at which they are ready. If you want to impress them very quickly with a simple and instant page, then you can do that. Obviously, the minute you're in that conversation, you're in a consultative approach. So if they want to evolve, you need to go through the evolution cycle of improving their services. Websites are a journey in themselves. On top of that, you have a range of other add-on products. So I don't think we're devaluing at all the website. I think we're making it easier to put across to a small business a structured and simple page without having to run them through all sorts of hoops that they're commonly taken through.
So what if the data, so you with the partner that you're approaching is not properly formatted. So they've got a bunch of data, but it's not.
It's a messy suitcase.
Right, so it's not organized in a way that makes your platform capable of rendering it in all these forms. What happens?
Well, so in a practical sense, there's two ways to do that. One is a costly exercise which we would recommend avoiding, which is trying to go physically through, mine the information, key it in. The other way is to factor in the process of structuring the data in the context of a sales or marketing exercise. The business card's a very, very simple way to do that, which is by being the approved ambassador of business cards, you're inviting the business owner to share that information with you, either in an interview context or via a self-service. So it's sometimes you need to go back to the well, even if you've been making print ads for this guy for the last 20 years, you may have to go back one more time. We're not recommending that you physically go and rekey everything that's sitting in the vault, but we think you can factor into the process a way to get structured data on board, and then from there, the possibilities open up.
I would answer this in a more direct Danish way. I say crap in, crap out.
So if my data as a publisher are incomplete or not properly structured, you're recommending going and doing a sales call and obtaining the data in that
Another way to do it is a marketing. I mean, we can create a business card from literally just a business name. There's no requirements of anything else. In fact, we've been doing this in Canada. We just hang the business name up, email the person the card, and say, please could you fill in this information for your free card, and we're getting a very good attach rate on that. The other point about the technology is it's a WYSIWYG editor, so you literally just point and click. We would recommend a telephone-supported approach because you've got issues with spelling and things like that. But fundamentally, given our role to take the business into the cloud, if you like, into the clouds? Into the cloud. You want to get them talking about themselves. And there's a number of ways to do that in a sales organization, in a sales conversation, or in a marketing call to action.
Other questions?
Surely there must be more questions about structured data. I mean, I can't believe this. I think everyone's stunned into silence.
Sandy, can you sit like up here?
Oh, they're sleeping.
I just have a question about in the sales process. So you mentioned supporting this through telesales, but if you have a premise rep, do you recommend doing this on the fly? Is it that simple that a rep could be in front of the client and do it then, or what
Absolutely.
do you recommend?
Absolutely. So speaking again about things like the Buzzboard or iPad-related or apps, we absolutely can see a situation where, and we do this. I did it myself in the streets of Ireland with a phone, walking into a business and asking them their opening hours, asking them a short description, taking a photograph. And it's incredibly impressive to the business owner because you can suddenly show them something which looks pretty cool, So absolutely, if you've got guys feet on the street, the other really powerful thing about that is the ability to take an instant GPS snapshot, because a lot of the renderings of GPS, as we all know, trying to take an address, structuring it, and finding out what Google or TomTom or whichever API you're using thinks is the location. So we would strongly recommend, if you have field sales force, it's a fantastically powerful passport. We're doing a few trials with some guys on that at the moment, and we hope to update you in future conferences on that.
But then again, some may prefer not to show how simple it is to generate this product, because you're charging for it, and the customer also needs to perceive it as valuable. So you can actually do it on premise, and then just say goodbye to the customer. We'll send you a link in a couple of days, and then it's done. But still, the point is, you've created it with no cost. At no cost.
I think the key thing on that, though, is we wouldn't recommend demoing do nothing, except potentially as a this is what you could have. But the business card, we're absolutely couching as an on-premise conversation, because that is not, you're not taking them the next leap and showing them a fantastic website, but you can have a 15-minute interview with someone and make them feel very warm inside to show them their business in a professional format.
What about a situation in which a business has certain assets and not others? So I have a Facebook page, I have a rudimentary website. How do you handle that kind of thing?
The source doesn't really matter, as long as the content is structured. So
Sven, I think
No,
that's
but I
about
mean, the sales rep is coming in and trying to sell additional products. So there's some pre-existing website, or there's certain assets that exist. How does your
Well, I mean, we deal with that situation all the time. You know, you've got the 12-year-old son built the website. The guy likes it very much. You don't want to be rude about it. So, you know, we've played with things like companion sites. The other thing is, again, with the audits, whether you're using a Haystack or a Buzzboard or a Vendasta, being able to actually see those boxes which are ticked can steer the conversation. Again, if they've got a Facebook page, let's link to it and things like that. So absolutely this is again part of the consultative approach. If you've got the business sharing with you information, descriptions, how long have you been going, what's your favorite dish in the restaurant, that kind of thing. Have you got a Facebook page? What's your current website? Add it all in, because it's all this structured profile, which is going to be the beating heart of whatever DMS thing you're going to be building in the future.
Hi.
Oh, great.
Excellent presentation. You've broken 4 of the 5 things not to do. Let's go for 5.
Boom.
Where are you going in the future? What's the next
There
challenge?
is no future, except structured content. Sorry for that pontification. Well,
Okay.
in the future, it's just going to get more and more fun to deliver these kind of products, and easy and low on the cost side. That doesn't mean that you can't charge a lot of money for the products, but I think the automation is just going to, and the structured content is just going to be more and more important, and we're going to take it to higher levels.
Yeah, I would agree. I think, Morgan, as you're sitting there on the cutting edge, you could probably better answer this question. But seriously, what's going to happen is anyone with a sales force is fundamentally the frontline troops, the ambassadors for this thing. So if you've got a sales force, you're way ahead of the curve. Facebook, Google are very unlikely to invest in that. If they do, that's a whole different conversation. But if you can stay at the forefront of being the ambassadors, get the structured data, then you're ready to bring any product that comes in. And that's what I would say.